Hey everybody, Jen here of Gen X Website Design and Strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a border around the images that appear in a simple list section on your Squarespace website. But before we dive in, I want to remind you that your website is much more than just its design. I know you came here to learn how to do this cool, funky thing, but don't forget, it's ultimately your website's job to attract and engage your target audience. So don't get too hung up on the design. To learn more about how to attract and engage your target audience to your Squarespace website, head on over to my blog where I share lots of free tips and strategies to help draw in your ideal client and get actual eyes on this beautiful website that you are designing. To add a list section to your Squarespace website, you're going to select Add Section. Now, Squarespace doesn't make it easy to actually find a list section. Wouldn't it make sense if it was listed over here as list section? Well, as of today, May 31st, 2024, it does not. You have to kind of search for it. So I typically start out in services. As you start to scroll, look for sections with the letter I, like this one, this one, this one, you get it. You can see that when you hover over the letter I, it actually says these sections let you quickly add content items and switch between layouts without having to manually rearrange them. They really are great, and I use them a lot. So just pick one. It doesn't really matter which one because we're going to be changing it. Okay, great. Now select Edit Content, and let's skip right over to Design. And we are looking for Simple List. When you select this dropdown, you'll see that there are some other options here, Banner, Slideshow, and Carousel. But in this case, we are looking for Simple List, which basically just means you can't scroll through the images. In a banner slideshow, you can scroll by selecting these arrows, and in a carousel, same thing. But we're not talking about that today. Today, we're talking about a simple list. The benefit of a simple list is that everything in the simple list is always visible on the page. So just in case your visitor is quickly scrolling down your page, they're not going to miss anything. But I do caution you that if you are going to use a simple list, don't have like 15 different items here. Simple list is good when you have a few items. And in my opinion, fewer is always better. People don't want to read a novel when they land on your website. So in the Content tab, this is where you're going to add your content, and you can customize it in the Design tab. But we're not here to talk about that today. What we're here to talk about today is how to add a border with a little bit of CSS. And just because I want this to look nice, I'm actually going to go in and swap out these placeholder photos. Okay, great. Now all we have to do is add the border around these images. So to do that, you're going to go to Pages, you're going to scroll down to Website Tools and Custom CSS. And then you're going to copy and paste the code snippet below this video right here. Now for this next step, you're going to need the Squarespace ID Finder Chrome extension. And when you install it in your browser, it looks like this. And if you haven't done this already, you need this, especially if you're planning to continue to use custom CSS on any of your Squarespace websites. So I already have mine installed, of course. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to select it. And the identifier shows me the section ID for this section of my web page. Now all I have to do is select it, and it will automatically copy to the clipboard. Now I'm going to select the extension again just to get rid of all the messiness. And I'm going to come back over to my code snippet and highlight section ID goes here and paste my section ID. And ta-da! My border automatically is applied to the images in my simple list section. Pretty cool, huh? Now all you have to do is enter your hex code right here. And you can even change the thickness of this border if you want, like so. Change it to anything you want. Play around with it until you get it how you like it. And I've included an option here for you to actually add a border radius. Right now it's set at 0, but if you wanted to add a border radius, just add it. Pretty simple, right? I hope you guys found that helpful. And if you did, please give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Maybe share this with someone who you think could use some help with this. But most of all, remember that your website is much more than just design. It's your website's job to attract and engage your target audience. And to learn more about how to do that, head on over to my blog where I share lots of tips and strategies for attracting and engaging your target audience to your Squarespace website.